Interesting.
Very tenuous.
What, if anything, can be done other than what we're doing right now to try to detect whether or not there is either signals from an intelligent species out there somewhere or some sort of evidence of them in terms of some manipulation of their atmosphere or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is obviously a big topic. And I really wouldn't have gotten so interested in it. I used to really dismiss it. And I still am, probably you'd call me an alien minimalist, because I think there's almost no chance that there are aliens. Certainly, I would say there's almost no chance that there's intelligent technological aliens. In other words, it could be slime mold on some exoplanet Proxima Centauri b, but we never know about it because they don't have thumbs and technology, right? But I even think that might be impossible, or as close to impossible. As a good scientist, I should never say zero chance they're aliens or zero. But as you go down the logical chain, as you go down the evolutionary chain of say, alien technology, as you said, could they be communicating with us? Well, we only know of these 3 different ways that they can communicate with us. The 3 things I brought here, the meteorites, they could send objects. Trash. Avi Loeb thinks these are trash. Or he went to Papua New Guinea. He scooped up some of these little fragments of a meteorite. You should definitely have him back on. It was a phenomenal episode with him. He and I had a conversation, very technical, but I like to think I can complement some of the cool stuff that you do by going deep into the astronomy, so that my colleagues actually get some interest out of it too. But when we think about craft, now you're not sending things other than sending neutrino beams to us, or sending gravitational waves to us, or sending light. Those are all things that propagate near the speed of light. This is very slow. This is very, very slow. To get this here, that took thousands and thousands of years just orbiting around our Earth. But even if it came from another solar system, we have no idea where it came from.
Well, I'm going to stop you because you went way off track a little bit. You said, I want to be clear on what you're saying. Do you think there's no possibility for alien life in the universe?
I didn't say it's no probability. I think the probability is very low, and I can explain why.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, have you ever heard of the Drake equation?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Drake equation is essentially a parameterization of our ignorance about certain things in the universe, and we've kind of checked off 7 of the terms and the 8 terms of the Drake equation, thanks to new technology, thanks to new telescopes. How many stars have planets around them? How many total? But there's a couple terms in there: the lifetime of a civilization, and a certain fraction of how much that civilization could dedicate its energy or what have you towards broadcasting its presence, right? So for us to know that they exist, they have to have made technology for them to exist, and they have to exist in the first place. So how many of such objects are? That's what the Drake equation's really parameterizing. Now, I propose that you should be able to do the following thing. If there's life in the universe, just life, slime mold, I don't care what it is,
okay,
you should be able to set limits on it in the following sense. What I'm going to do is do a reductio ad absurdum. I'm going to motivate, hopefully I can't prove, but I'm going to motivate the illogic of suspecting that there are extraterrestrial intelligent civilizations. Okay, here it goes. Let me just tell you, my colleagues discovered that there's a planet, and it's around a star that's just like our sun. And it's next to another planet, and that planet's full of life. And the other planet's almost identical to that planet. It's almost the same size. It has a day the same age and the same length as the day of the planet that has just rotten with life. It's crawling with Kardashians and slime molds and whatever, right?
Okay.
So it's out there.
Just like us.
Yeah. And I said to you, Joe, what do you think the odds are that those 2 neighboring planets there's no reason physically they shouldn't both be identical? What are the odds that the other one should not have life? What would you say?
With the same environment?
It's same solar system environment, same properties. Rocky planet, had liquid water. It has an atmosphere. It has a magnetic field. Has all sorts of things.
I would think it would be more likely that it would have life.
Very likely. It would be extremely likely. Okay, now let me tell you that planet exists. It's called Mars. And I brought you a piece of it here, okay?
Oh.
This is a fragment. Okay, so this goes in order of expense, okay? So these things I give away. That big meteorite is a present for you.
Thank you.
This is a piece of Mars. This I only give to you. I don't have one for Jamie.
That's an actual piece of Mars.
That's an actual piece of Mars.
So from an asteroid?
So what happened was the Earth gets hit by meteors, right, all the time, and but so do all the other planets. Sometimes some of that material from Mars gets impacted. Imagine something that big that Jamie showed before slamming into. It's going to eject it from the surface of Mars. That's going to orbit in the clouds of Mars. It's eventually going to get outside the atmosphere of Mars if the impact is great enough, carrying some of the debris, the surface, the crust of Mars, etc. And that will then percolate throughout the solar system for tens of millions of years, perhaps, until the Earth smashes into it and it lands. In this case, it landed in Africa. That was recovered from Africa. That little third of a gram is a slice off a bigger chunk, okay? And not only does that piece of Mars doesn't have any signature of life on it, and we've been to Mars, we've stuck probes into Mars, we have a freaking helicopter flying around on Mars right now. It's insane. We don't see anything. Now, that doesn't mean that life didn't exist there before. It doesn't mean that if we don't fly into a lava cave, there won't be. But does it not say something? This is called panspermia. It's something that sounds dirty, but it's not. Right.
I know the term.
Yeah. So we exchange material. And actually, Sir Fred Hoyle, the guy who came up with the idea for the name the Big Bang, he actually believed in the steady state model. He believed that's how life was seeded on Earth. The fact is that we've been exchanging material for literally billions of years, from when the Earth was, just bacteria and Mars was flowing with water. We know Mars was rich with water. Now, the fact that we don't see any, is that proof it never had? Absolutely not. But I'm just saying it's a piece of evidence. And that evidence is very hard to come by.